Hi everyone, welcome back to the book club. We are doing chapter 2 of the Happiness Project, and chapter 2 is all about love, especially marriage. Now, if you're not married, you're in a committed relationship, that counts. And there are 5 steps on how to improve your happiness through love, and one of them is to quit nagging. So one common type of nagging in relationships is that it's best for you nagging, like, did you get your umbrella? Did you make your doctor's appointment? Let them be in control of their own life. They will do it. Now, it depends on what marriage and how you've set it up, but that works best for me. He typically takes care of his stuff. I take care of my stuff. We remind each other, but we don't nag each other. Now, the next part to stop nagging is to just do it. So let's say you're nagging them about getting the ladder out and reaching something high. What's stopping you from doing it? Just do it. Now, if you're injured, of course, there are so many circumstances that I can't, there are a lot of exceptions. But in general, a lot of the things that we nag our spouses about, we can just do. If it's annoying to you, it's annoying to them. So maybe it's a task that doesn't need to be done by anyone, especially the people you love the most in life. If there is something that only your partner can do, you can remind them by leaving a note. That way they don't have to keep hearing your voice, and you don't have to keep hearing your voice because I'm sure you don't like to be a nag either. So a simple note on their computer screen or by the front door may do the trick. Or even just a one word or very few word reminder, like kids, to remind them that they need to pick up the kids, or big sale, or computer. That way you're using fewer and fewer words and you'll have less of an opportunity to nag. Another way to be happier through your relationship is to not expect praise. Do things because you genuinely want to do them. Little things from cleaning the sink. You don't need a pat on your back. You may get it, you may not, but you clean the sink because you wanted to have a clean sink. If you went to, great lengths to make this beautiful cake for your mother-in-law's anniversary, you did that because you wanted to do that. It was important to you. Maybe you don't get a thank you at all, and that's okay. When you expect praise and it doesn't come, you start to kind of hold a grudge and get resentful, and then you don't really want to do things, but those things make you happy. Baking or cleaning, whatever it is, the result of that makes you happy. So keep doing them, whether or not you get that praise. So do I expect praise from my spouse? Sometimes, not often. Sometimes I do, and I really try not to expect it because I'm not doing it because I want him to notice. I'm doing all that I do because it either needs to be done or it's just something I want to do. But I did say this month I kind of had a low that I was hoping to hear some words of affirmation at some point in the next few weeks, and he's been kind of sprinkling them in here and there. So that was a good way to prevent an argument and just tell him what I needed. And while I don't always need praise, sometimes it helps, and if I'm not hearing it, I'm in a good relationship where I can just ask, and I hope that you are too. Try it. Try not to nag or snap. Say it in a nice, calm way that whenever your spouse compliments you or tells you that you did a good job, it makes you feel important, so you do like to hear it. Once you say it like that, it's in their hands to see what happens next. The 4th step in chapter 2 is to fight right, and it's more important how couples fight than how much couples fight. You've probably heard to avoid using phrases like you never or you always. Those are just fighting words, and it's not a really productive way to argue. When you are arguing or disagreeing, try not to yell, try not to become overly emotional, although I cry every single time, I'm just a crier, and do try to focus on that one piece of information, that one thing that you're arguing about. Try not to bring up lots and lots of other things from the past. I say try because I know it's really easy to do that sort of thing, and I do it too, but it's certainly not healthy. The argument will go on longer than it needs to, and then you're kind of just like have this tension that shouldn't be there. And you have to be really genuine with everybody, but especially your spouse. Now, there are times when maybe I'll laugh something off, and she talks about this in the book too. And, maybe your husband or your spouse was teasing you and you kind of laugh it off, and then they tease you again and you snap at them and say that's not funny. How are they to know? You gave them the information that it was okay the first time. You laughed it with them. So they think it's okay to joke. And so the next time it's not, they're confused, you're mad, you snapped, and you feel bad, and you have this mess on your hands. So always try to be genuine. You can be lighthearted and you can say, oh, that's funny, but I really did try. No dumping is a big one for me. No dumping means that when you see your spouse, you're not just going to pour out every emotion that you've been feeling that day. Sometimes sometimes they do need to be a listening ear and a companion, and they know that's what they signed up for, and that's okay. But that can become exhausting and draining to anyone. In the book, she gives an example of having the bank recall their credit cards, some kind of like security breach. And she had this long list of places that had her card on file that she had to now call, cancel, and redo. And that was annoying to her. And when her husband came home, rather than tell him this long thing, I had to call here and I had to wait and I was on hold for 2 hours and this and that, all you need to say is, there was a breach with the credit card. I took care of it. It took a long time, but it's done. That example kind of encompasses everything. She didn't complain or nag him to do it. She took care of it herself. She didn't expect praise. She just did it. She didn't dump all of that stress onto him. She just handled it like a grown woman should. The last way to become happier through your relationship is to give proofs of love. And I'm going to tell you that I struggle with this. I have read the 5 love languages years ago. I do know I need to revisit it, because when I was asking you guys in several videos back, how do you keep your spouse a priority? There was a long thread of discussion around the love languages. And one of the great tips was from my friend Erica over at Everything Erica. She said that she has a little cheat sheet, a list of things that she knows her husband likes. So while she knows her husband's love language, she also knows specifically how to express praise or love through that language. I really want to keep my energy from chapter 1 and my marriage strong from this chapter, because going forward into March and the rest of the year, those are the 2 things that I think can really make a big difference. So don't forget to check back in at the end of the month or the beginning of April when we review chapter 3, which is all about work. And if you're like me and you don't work out of the home, we'll have to get really creative to apply the principles for this one. I'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye.